Yo, what is up guys? It's the Goblin and welcome back to another Call of Duty Black Ops 4 video. In tonight's video, we are going to be talking about a best class setup and how to make one of the top weapons in this game right now overpowered, the Rampart 17. This weapon is absolutely awesome, but only with the right attachments, the right playstyle, and knowing the strengths of it, but still its weaknesses, because even the god guns and the best guns in this game, top 5 weapons, top 10 weapons, they all still have weaknesses that you have to know to play to the strengths and against the weaknesses. We're going to talk about that in tonight's video. I'm sorry for missing my last upload. I actually went on a nice little trip to Seattle, to the Space Needle and all stuff like that, but we have a very good upload I think you guys will enjoy tonight with this class setup, because if you are struggling or if you're even doing well in this game, but you're looking for a weapon that I think a lot of people are still tapped in or tuned into the Rampart, but a lot of people have also forgot about this weapon because it is kind of niche. It's not like the ICR where you just pick it up, oh, it has no recoil, you just pick whatever class it up and you just start spraying. It's a laser beam. It's not like that. This weapon is not a laser beam. It has a slow fire rate. It has some recoil on it, but it has unbelievable rewards if you can get to that. So if you guys could drop a like on this video, let's go ahead and smack that like button. Let's go for 450 likes. If you could hit that, that would be absolutely amazing. Subscribe to the channel if you guys are new and not already subscribed. That would be awesome. And let's get right into it. Now, the Rampart 17, what is this weapon? It deals high damage. This weapon deals a very, very high damage, and it has a slow fire rate, but you still have a fast time to kill, especially if you use high caliber or high caliber 2, which of course make increased damage on certain shots. You can get a weapon that is killing people in like 3 shots with this Rampart 17, which of course is a melt machine. And while you think slow fire rate probably is going to slow fire rate and high recoil, that seems like a hard to kill weapon. If you can hit those shots with high caliber 1 or high caliber 2, either to the head or to the upper body, your time to kill is greatly increased. So let's go through and talk about the attachments and things like that, the attachments, perks, and class setup, and then we'll talk about how to use this weapon, its strengths and weaknesses, and how to use the correct playstyle. So class setup. First of all, you're going to want to run this thing with a Reflex Sight. Now, you don't have to run a Reflex Sight with this. I know a lot of people are going to put in the comments, well, but you don't need to. There's no point. You could still see great with the default sight, and that is true. However, you want to be precise with this thing, and I think a reflex, at least for me personally, is important. Plus, the way that this class setup is sort of designed, it leaves you with, I guess, a slot where you can either use the Reflex Sight or leave it empty and go with a secondary. However, that's just, I really think the Reflex Sight is important because you sort of have that slot open anyway, and secondaries aren't that useful in this game because you can just punch people, especially when, you know, the majority of fights where you're going to run out of ammo like that, you're going to have the enemy weak and go for that punch. So Reflex Sight is what I run, and then my attachments, high caliber 1 and high caliber 2. You basically want to lock yourself in to these 2 attachments with this weapon, and the reasoning behind that is that what these attachments do is it increases your damage to headshots, and then high caliber 2 increases damage to the upper chest. So that is why the niche thing with this weapon is that is a unique time to kill. If you're able to just connect one of those shots, and or even multiple of those shots is even better, with the high caliber, and that's something that I think is very important, and that is sort of what this gun is designed for. It was pushed to use these attachments. If you're running the Rampart without these attachments and you're not sort of going for this, aiming for the head, it's still going to be a good weapon in this game, but you're not going to be able to unlock its full potential and capabilities without doing this. And then as far as my third attachment, this is one where those first 2 are pretty easy and self-explanatory to pick. You want to do those so you can have, if you can hit your shots, an extremely good time to kill weapon. But for that third attachment, it really comes down to the question, and there is a lot of other attachments that are available here, including long barrel, FMJ, grip, and even fast mag. So those are basically your options you have to choose from. Now with long barrel, that is great. It can give you some more damage at range, which is nice. However, you already have such a good time to kill. I don't think that is really needed. Plus, this weapon isn't designed for those long range gunfights like something with less recoil would be, like an ICR. Next is fast mags. Fast mags, I love it, and it is very effective. FMJ can also be absolutely amazing. They also have FMJ 1 and 2 available on this weapon. But me specifically, I go with the grip, and I pick the grip over the FMJ and the fast mags and even the long barrel, just because I find that this weapon, it does have some recoil. It's not a secret, and this thing is going to bounce around, and a lot of gunfights where it just bounces the wrong way and you miss those shots, it can be super duper frustrating. So you want to put yourself at have the least amount of trouble with this weapon, and that's what I just find. It was a decision between 3 things basically. FMJ, which would help me with wall banging enemies or shooting them when they're on a head glitch where it's sort of tough to get that straight shot shot into their head, and you might be shooting through the cover a little bit. Fast mags, which of course will help be able to rush a little bit more, but then I don't use this weapon in a very fast-paced style anyway. I use it sort of in a mid-paced style. And then the last one I would go with, which was grip, which, like I said, I think is priority because of how it balances that recoil out. So that's what we go with as far as the attachments on this thing. Next is going to be ComSec device for the gear. This isn't a fast-paced setup where you want to run a stim shot or anything like that. I think ComSec device is definitely the way to go. Maybe you could go with the acoustic sensor if you want to do that instead, but I go for the ComSec device for the kill streaks. I don't think this is one designed for stim shot just because it's, you know, it's 30 bullets in each magazine, not the fastest reload, and it's not really designed for playing up close and personal anyway. It's sort of a unique setup, right? And then my three perks that I go with are Tac Mask, Gung Ho, and Dead Silence. Pretty self-explanatory stuff. Tac Mask counters a lot of the BS in this game, including Specialists, which, say what you want about Specialists, they give people sort of free opportunities based on time and earned as well through score, but, you know, everyone gets them all the time because they're Specialists, and they can really mess up your game, and Tac Mask counters some of those, which is just nice to have. Gung Ho, obviously self-explanatory at this point in the game, the best perk in the game. Get your gun up quick, and is just absolutely amazing. And then Dead Silence for a couple of reasons. Number one, I hate acoustic sensor when you're being tracked by that. And number two, I don't want people to be able to hear my footsteps. I don't want to hear my own footsteps, but I don't want other people to hear them and have an advantage on me because I already know up close. This is sort of to combat the weakness a little bit. I already know this gun is so, I'm going to be in trouble up close just because of the slow fire rate compared to a lot of the weapons in this game, even assault rifles, especially the SMGs and other things like that, that I want to make sure that the enemies don't know that I'm coming and that I don't give them a heads up. That's why I have Dead Silence for those close range encounters. So that is the class setup with this thing. Now, close range, a couple tips on how to use this weapon. You want to play it sort of mid-range, but it's not necessarily straight on gunfights like you would play with like a KN or a Peacekeeper. It's a weapon that doesn't have stock available on it, and it's more of a pick and pop sort of weapon. Post up somewhere, boop boop, duck back down, boop boop, duck back down, get some damage in or get a kill in, because of course damage is so important in this game if your teammates are able to finish off the kills. The next thing I will say, close range, you will end up in trouble, and my number one tip for close range is aim down sights around the corner, sort of pre-aim it, and set up your aim at around the the chest, high chest, upper chest sort of level, and then you can let the recoil sort of take your shots into, and this can work for all sorts of ranges as well. Let that recoil sort of bounce around and get some of those shots into the upper chest, and as well as the headshots for the high caliber to be activated. And you can sort of let the recoil do that for you, because this isn't a weapon like the ICR. We have to be aiming directly at the bullets are going to go directly where you aim it. There is a little bit of randomness and luck to it, and definitely a lot of practice and learning to understand the recoil and things like that. But my tip for close range is you're not going to out time to kill someone by shooting them in the body or shooting them in the groin or in the legs, especially at close range in a straight on gunfight where they're looking at you. You don't have stock, so you can't really make them out strafe the enemy and hope they miss their shots. This isn't the best weapon for jumping around corners, jump shotting with. I mean, although that is a more viable strategy for weapons without stock, so you can be airborne instead of sliding on the ground with stock a little bit left to right. Close range, though, I think that you really aiming for that head has saved me a bunch of times where people are pulling up on me with SMGs or other things like that, and I'm able to combat that surprisingly with a slow fire rate weapon by hitting those upper shots and getting that fast time to kill. Next thing is be careful of people on full-on head glitches. I had this one game I was going against a guy with an ICR, and he was playing head glitches, and this has happened a few other games as well. People play full-on head glitches, and you think, oh, that's perfect. I can use this weapon, which is designed for extra amazing headshot damage, but you just can't hit the shot because the head glitch is so perfect. That's where something like an FMJ would be amazing to sort of do a wall bang or get some penetration against their cover right there. But I go with the grip here, and I think that I sort of challenge those fights, but if it's a stare down with me and another enemy, and we're both on head glitches, that's something that you would love to take with an ICR, with a Maddox, but honestly, with this weapon, that's not really what it's designed for. It's more of a pick and pop style like I talked about earlier, so be careful with that and don't be worried. This weapon, it gives you huge advantages if used correctly, but it does have a lot of crutches to it as well, and a lot of things that are going to piss you off at, close range, its performance, not having stock, things like that are going to piss you off and can, I think, discourage a lot of people or push people away from this weapon. And I think that this is a weapon that is not for everyone, but if you can understand this weapon, understand the maps or the play styles or the game mode, that it fits perfectly for you to play that that style, just hop up, high time to kill, get the high damage in and get out. This weapon is absolutely amazing and can do some great things for you cycling around in objective mode such as domination, which is how I like to use it. Thanks for watching. I hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you did, make it to the end. Please drop a like. That would be absolutely amazing. Let me know what weapon in Black Ops 4 you want to see a class it up for, or how to make overpowered next, down in the comment section down below. And that's about it. Thanks for watching. Thank you so much for all the support, and I'm out. Peace.